exactly what the cunts are saying on the radio.
Maybe a relative, a colleague, or even an acquaintance. And in many of the entries, it was striking that the person offering the support wasn't even close to them, but was determined to help. And this award is going to be presented by...
Oh, awards. Ugh. Is there anything what makes me feel more like vomiting than any sort of award ceremony? For any reason. Even if it was my most favourite topic in the world, the moment that you're having awards for it, this makes me want vomit, vomit, vomit. It's like, fuck off, innit? Fucking awards. Receiving this award makes me feel better than everyone who didn't get one. Award ceremonies are about making the majority of people sad and unhappy, and a very tiny sliver of people elated and over the moon. That's what I got against them. They're too belittling of the majority. That's the trouble with awards. Is it possibly the worst thing ever? I think so. Award ceremonies. Has it led to countless suicides? I think so. I think all award ceremonies should be banned, just for the amount of suicides what happen. The amount of Sui-ciddle-diddles, as I call it. Sui-ciddle-diddles, as I call it. I've had a Sui-ciddle-diddle today. Oh my god, he didn't commit Sui-ciddle-diddle-cide. Sui-ciddle-diddle-cide, did he? He did. He committed Sui-ciddle-diddle-cide. This is what's been really bad throughout the coronavirus. It's just all the amount of suicidal-diddle-cide-sides. All the suicidal-diddle-cide-sides what's been happening. It's awful. It's awful. I used to be really against suicide, but now I think more people should do it. If people care about the planet and care about the sustainability of our society, then we need to encourage suicides. It's interesting because if you murder a load of people and you do it systematically, chances are you're going to choose the same method. And I guess it's a bit boring. But driving 90% of humanity to suicide could lead to some really interesting ways of killing yourself, couldn't it? Really interesting ways, like funny. I'd have to go out funny, honestly. If I was driven to Sui-ciddle-diddle-cide, I'd want the person who found me to laugh first, even if it was one of the children. I'd want them to come in and their first gut reaction is to laugh because of the way their dad done it. Like something there, maybe wearing a t-shirt or something, you know? Now, I wouldn't do it gory. I'd probably just take a mixture of chemicals what would guarantee knock me out and then bump me off. And what I then do is get one of those rubber masks of Elton John, put it on my head as I'm dying, and then have a t-shirt on saying, "Sorry I was such a faggot. Sorry I was such a faggot." And I'm like, "Fucking Dad." And like, "Dad, this ain't the time to be making jokes. You just diddled yourself." There's got to be some really great ways to go out like that, you know? Not gory. You don't want to upset the people who find you. You don't want to find you with a fucking blue head and a rope around your fucking neck. That's a bit grim. Guy hung himself by me old house and that. Took his fucking dog out for a walk, went down the woods, hung himself and let the dog make his own way out. Which must have been agonising for hours because the family like see the dog come home and they're like, where's his name? Where is he? Why have you come back by yourself? And the dog does that classic pointing position where its tail's strong, his nose is pointing, and he's lifting one paw up, and then with the other paw he's going. Man beheads himself, puts head in an aquarium, and lets crabs crawl around it. His last act, after he chopped his head off, he had just enough fucking oxygen left in his blood to pick up his own head, stagger over, and as he's like falling over with rigor mortis, he manages to fucking slam dunk his head in the fucking fish tank. And it's one of those little fish bowls actually. And the first person who turns up not only is laughing at a fucking beheaded corpse laid on the floor and a face looking at the fish bowl, when they go to grab him by their pride, they're like, how did he come out? He's like one of those ships in a bottle. How the fuck did his head get in this? And it's because he did an overarching slam dunk with his right arm and shove his head right in the fucking fish bowl. He's like this in the fish bowl. I don't think about this very often. That's why I haven't got loads of Sui-ciddle-diddle-cides come popping out my head at the moment. I'm having to think about these on the fly. You could say I'm actually making this up as we're going along. Believe it or not, it's not even scripted. I've not even got notes on the back of my hand. I didn't even rehearse any of this in the bathroom this morning. I just made it up. So if anyone has lost any members of their family to suicide, I hope it made you laugh a bit. Not all of it, not them being gone forever, not them leaving family members behind, not the fact that they had loads of dreams they never fulfilled, but just the manner of their death made you laugh. And if we can encourage, I don't know, with some sort of pandemic or something what makes people not allowed to mix with people who might talk them out of it, make people feel really lonely and sad and alone in the world to the point where topping themselves seems a better option than watching Netflix. Which I find the few times I have watched Netflix, I quite often think to myself, I wish I was dead. I really wish I was dead. Combine harvester, that'd be a good way to go out, wouldn't it?